Good evening, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to the Tuesday, January 17th, 2023 order of the City Council. This is a regular meeting. If you'll please rise, we'll have an invocation followed by the Pledge of Allegiance by our highly esteemed Mayor. Thank you, Chief. You're welcome.
Please bow with me. Lord, thank you once again for this wonderful community that we lived in. Thank you for the staff. Thank you for the council. Thank you for our citizens that make this community what we are. We ask that you watch all over all of those, our first responders and all of our staff as they do their duty to make our city and keep our city beautiful. We also ask you to lay your hands on the Swain family as they go through the issues with Mary and protect her and guide her through this ordeal. We ask that all we do in your name, Jesus Christ. Amen.
Amen. Amen.
Pledge allegiance
to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Thank you, Mayor Shute. You're welcome. Kathy, let's make this official. Will you please call the roll?
Mayor Shute.
Here.
Bishop.
Here.
Carlisle.
Here.
Mendel.
Here.
Stewart.
Here.
Detman.
Here. Next item is the announcement of business from the audience. If there's anything you would like to speak to our the City Council with this evening, a little bit later in the agenda, we can call you up. In the meantime, if you'll pick up a paper right here on the table in front of me, fill it out with your name, address, and what you want to talk about, and I'll make sure Clerk Haley gets that into the record as well, and we'll call you up. Okay, from there, I guess we're going to go right straight to the mayor's report.
Just a couple of things. All revolved around last weekend with Martin Luther King. Thank you to Bobby Powell for putting on the Sunday night event. Terry was there, Scott was there with his wife. It was very nice. Went to church Sunday night, actually, so got pretty wound up, but it's pretty cool. So it was a good event. Enjoyed it. And then also for Ada McGowan and the Shannon brothers for putting on the parade on Monday. So event-filled weekend. That's all I have,
It's
actually.
as good as it gets, huh? Okay, council members' concerns, comments, liaison reports. Let me start with our councilwoman. Ms. Mendel, please.
Well, I don't have any reports except that Dr. Powell put on a lovely evening and program there remembering Martin Luther King Jr. and his wonderful contributions to our country.
Great, wonderful, thank you. Mr. Stewart.
I'm good, thank you.
Yeah, and I would like to apologize for not being able to attend that event simply because I was at a funeral over at St. Catherine's, a gentleman who has served in our community for many, many years. So I have had an obligation to be there with my wife. Mr. Carlisle.
No report.
And Mr. Bishop.
Nothing.
Nothing. Okay, that's too easy. Let's go to the consent agenda. We have 8 items on the consent agenda. They're marked A through I. H is intentionally left blank. Anybody have any questions about any of those 8 items on the consent agenda? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we accept the consent agenda as presented.
We got a motion.
Second.
We got a second from Mr. Stewart. Anyone in the audience want to discuss any one of those 8 items on the consent agenda? Please come forward. Kathy, call roll.
Bishop.
Yes.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Mendel.
Yes.
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes. Straight down, past number 9, which is old business and nothing there. We'll go to 10A. Let me find it myself. The Sebring Soda Festival. Tennille, hello there.
Good evening.
I saw you hiding over there. Come-
Tennille Dory Smith with the Sebring Chamber for record. I can't believe it's time to start talking about Soda Fest. Actually, we've been talking about it for a few months already, but we're in full planning mode. And it's going to be April 7th and 8th this year with your approval. That is Easter weekend, which we faced that challenge a couple years ago, and it actually turned out to be great. So we're going to start a little earlier than normal on Friday since school is out. It's going to start at 2 and go till 9, and then Saturday, at the request of several people and some feedback, we're going to start the festival at 10 a.m. and it's going to go all day till 9. So soda tastings and all will go till 9 p.m. So it'll be a fun-filled day of entertainment and soda tastings, and this is our 5th annual, so it's kind of a milestone for us.
A long day for you.
Yes.
You know, I would like to make a comment. I have had a booth there, different booths that I've been helping out, and I've been so impressed with the Soda Fest and the amount of people from out of town it brings, and what a good job organizing y'all have done, so thank you very much.
Thank you. Appreciate the comment.
What's your pleasure, folks?
I'll make a motion, we approve the event as presented, conditioned upon the Chamber of Commerce providing liability insurance of at least $1 million with the city named as additional insured.
Okay, I have a motion.
I
Second.
second it.
And we have a tie for second. Who wants to take it?
She can have it.
Okay, Ms. Mendel, you got the second on that one. Anyone from the audience like to ask any questions or comment on the Soda Festival coming up? Anybody up here want to discuss it any further? Kathy, call the roll.
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle.
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes,
Stewart.
Yes.
Detman.
Yes.
Thank you.
Thank you, Tennille.
Thank you, Tanel.
Thanks, Tennille.
Item 12A, an ordinance.
Oh, you missed business from the audience.
Did I miss that?
Yep.
I sure did. I apologize. Calling up in the order that I received them, Regina Nicholas.
Good evening.
Tell me how to say your last name so I'll remember it.
Nicolois.
Nicolois.
Regina Nicolois with
You
the
got it.
After School
Thank
Spot. And hello, everyone. I just came here for almost like a threefold thing. The first is just to formally introduce myself and kind of put a face to what I'm doing here. I have opened up a nonprofit for middle and high school kids at 3725 Kenilworth Boulevard. It is a free space for all children. We meet once a week based upon your grade, the grade that you're in. It's separated by grades. And then we do free classes in youth development, peer engagement, creative outlets, and then what I call independent living skills like how to write a check, how to fill out an envelope, how to check your tire pressure or your car fluids on your first vehicle. I opened my doors December 2021, and we just have serviced over 250 local students. I currently am doing this 100% volunteer and self-funding this mission with my other businesses. As I learn like the grant writing process and everything, we are a 501c3. But again, just to kind of introduce our program, put a face to what I'm doing, and then to make the announcement that we just opened registration again, and our winter classes will start on January 23rd, 2023, and we will meet Monday through Friday from 3:15 to 5:15, depending on your grade level. So,
And what age is your target age group?
11 to 17, so any middle or high school child is free to attend. We break it down by grades. So Monday, we meet with 6th graders, Tuesdays, 7th and 8th, Thursdays, 9th and 10th, and then Fridays, 11th and 12th. The first and third Wednesdays, we do video game competitions for the kids, and the second Wednesdays, we do a open mic, and then the fourth Wednesday, we do a poetry and spoken word night. So.
What's the location?
3725 Kenilworth Boulevard, directly outside the access gate of the high school.
Right by the paint store.
Right by the paint store. That's
Yeah,
where
I
I'm
live
at.
around the corner.
I lost my signs in the hurricane, so it looks kind of bland, but we're getting some new signs thanks to Signtastic, so they'll be up soon.
Regina, just one other question. Does the state of Florida require you to have certification and background investigations on your volunteers?
So I would not say they require it, but I that's part of implemented in how we run our program. Nobody is allowed to be around the children without passing a level 2 background check. And then not just that, but we thoroughly interview everyone. We only look for people that have previously worked in youth environments. We want to make sure we're providing the safest and the best environment for these kids. The point is to get them from out of the streets and out of danger into a safe, positive place. So I definitely vet everyone very, very strongly.
And you want to protect yourself.
I want to,
Reputation,
yes,
you know.
absolutely.
Now,
Absolutely.
does the state of Florida require a certain type of licensure for you to run that?
No.
So it doesn't.
No, I have looked into, do I need any type of special degree or special anything? Now, I do want to say that I have continual I continue to find ways to educate myself. I just recently did the ACEs certification for adverse childhood experiences. Anything that the Children's Advocacy offers, anything that our community offers, I'm there and I'm partaking in so that I continue to grow myself to be the best asset for the kids.
Yeah, and the only reason I ask that is for your benefit is I'd hate to see the Division of Family Services show up one day knocking on your door and say, hey, listen, how come you don't have the state licensure like you would do for daycare centers and things like that?
Right.
Being that your target group is 11 through 17, so make sure you check really close for that.
I will continue to look into it, but
Yeah.
I think it's because we're more considered recreational and arts than we are educational. You know, we teach them the classes, but we're more so to provide a free, safe space just to hang out after school, to basically snack, connect, and lounge is our front side of it, and then from the back side to engage, enrich, and empower. So
I'm guessing that you would get the best response by calling Division of Family and Family Services, just to make absolutely sure.
I definitely did that prior to opening.
Okay.
Don't worry, I got this, and I will double check, and I'll go ahead and do it again to make sure I catch some fresh ears. But
Absolutely.
I wanted to make sure we
Yep.
were doing this the right way, crossing the
benefit.
T's, dotting the I's. So
Yeah.
I did reach out.
Sounds wonderful, thank you.
And I have a
Thank
question.
you. Yes.
Thank you so much for your efforts. And what would be the official name of this ministry?
The after school spot.
After-
I didn't want the kids to have to guess. I wanted them to just read the sign and say, "Oh, let me go there."
Free pizza.
Right? So, yes. Any other questions? No? Well, then, thank you so much for giving me the time.
Thank you for coming
Have a
to see us
beautiful day.
tonight. Second party that I have here is Elaine Daff, please. Mrs. Elaine Daff.
Good evening. My name's Elaine Daff, and I live here in the city of Sebring, just a couple blocks from here. I'm really just here to find out the status. I was here of a request. I was here, I think, back in July, and was inquiring about putting the possibility of putting a crosswalk at Persimmon and Kenilworth. I know there's some new housing down across from Heartland Christian Academy, and the fair coming up, ball games. The only crosswalks are at the very ends of Kenilworth and the Parkway, and then Kenilworth and Lakeview, I think. One side doesn't even have a complete sidewalk. So I think everybody thought it was a great idea, and we agreed. I was just wondering if any action was ever taken after that
I
meeting.
can't answer that, Mr. Natlick. I think we lateraled that over to you to possibly get with the city.
So, the Community Safety Transportation Committee
Yep.
is looking at that as well as some other crosswalks on Lakeview Drive between Kenilworth and the downtown area. And then the CRA has commissioned a pedestrian safety study to be done in the downtown area, and I think they're in negotiations with a contractor to perform those services.
Okay. Could I ask you to follow up on that and maybe get with Ms. Staff and get an update on that?
Sure.
All right. Thank you.
How's that? You're very welcome. Thanks for coming up, and we appreciate your concern. Okay, I guess I am moving to city attorney business.
You got one more.
Where'd that one come from? Too late. I don't even see the gentleman here.
Right
James
there.
Dean?
There.
He's undercover today. Come on up.
He doesn't have his good old blazer on. He's got the 30-year-old blazer on.
I want to know why City Council and CRA want to destroy the Sebring Historical Society, as well as the Alan Aldervetter Cultural Center and the Jack Stroop Civic Center. You always tell me to ask CRA, but the fact is, it was Scott Nothlich, according to a newspaper article, that took the outfitter to the Arts League to tell them those public buildings were being handed over to a private investor. CRA spent $149,000 of taxpayers' money to create this piece of paper. That cost taxpayers $149,000, which is now called Phase 1 of the Waterfront Redevelopment Plan. This piece of paper was used at Charlie Lawrence's last meeting after he lost the election to authorize a $6 million loan for Phase 1 of that plan, which most citizens call a mistake on the lake. This plan, the basis of that loan, I say is illegal because it is not ADA, the plan is not ADA compliant, and expected everyone to walk from the parking lot the city purchased from Charlie Lawrence. I and most citizens believe the plan was not legal, which, if used as a basis of a loan, should make the loan questionable and could cause the lending institution to question the loan. Those citizens and I are not attorneys. The legality of these actions should be determined by the state attorney's office. I request that, to protect the city's own interests and those of the taxpayers, City Council should request the city's attorney's office to conduct an investigation of all CRA activities since the destruction of Nansesui Hotel, conduct a forensic audit, and put a hold on all CRA real estate until the state attorney's office completes the investigation. The normal way to finance redevelopment in this city is by a bond issue, which must be approved by a majority of voters. Why did City Council, spurred on by Charlie Lawrence, who benefited from the sale of his property to the city, allow a $6 million loan repaid over 20 years to an agency whose income is $1 million per year of taxpayers' money? Kimley Horn designed part of the Riverwalk redevelopment in Fort Lauderdale. The city of Fort Lauderdale used that plan, but
30
also
seconds,
bulldozed.
Mr. Dean.
Okay. All right, well, I basically said what I need to say, and so I'll finish.
Thank you, Mr. Dean. Okay, item 12A is the ordinance number 1511, Sebring Municipal Firefighters. The pension plan, deferred option plan, or the drop plan as it's best known, the benefit enhancement. This will be a second and final reading. Can I turn this over to you, Mr. Swain?
Yes, sir. The
Thank you.
ordinance is entitled, an ordinance of the City of Sebring, Florida, further amending the City of Sebring Municipal Firefighters Pension Plan, restated pursuant to ordinance number 1307, as subsequently amended, amending section 27, deferred retirement option plan, providing for codification, providing for severability of provisions, repealing all ordinances in conflict herewith, and providing for an effective date.
There we go. Comments, questions, discussion? Up on the dais? How about from the audience? Entertain a motion.
Make a motion, we approve proposed ordinance number 1511, extending the drop benefits to minimum of 8 years.
Maximum.
Maximum, excuse me, years on second final reading.
You get that, Kathy? Minimum,
I did.
maximum.
Minimum,
Yeah,
maximum.
There we go.
maximum.
Do I get a second on the maximum of 8 years on the second and final reading?
I'll second that.
Got a second from Mr. Stewart. Any further discussion? Kathy, call the roll.
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Detman.
Absolutely. Okay, number 12B. The replat approval for a portion of lots 60 and 64 lying in section 28, Township 34 South, Range 29, East, City of Sebring, Highlands County, Florida. Do you want to start that out, Scott, or just hand it lateral to
Makes no difference.
Mr. Swain? Go right ahead. Whoever jumps
Sure.
in.
This is the Marge Jernigan Trust property, it's old Groves on Kenilworth that has been annexed into the city by council action. It has been rezoned, and this is replatting it to reorganize how the lots are arranged. And so they urge your approval of this this replat.
Any questions up here? Comments? Concerns?
The city has had a surveyor double check the math, if you will, of the proponent's survey,
Yep.
and everything is found to be in compliance with
Great.
statutes.
Great. Comments from the audience on this one? It's going to be your last time unless you want to object to the payment of the bills, which is next. Kathy, call the roll. I'm sorry, how about a motion? You're the motion man here, Leonard. Go ahead.
I can't read tonight.
Okay. Want me to read it for you?
Approved plat,
Yep.
Palmetto, Kenilworth as presented, and authorize the recording of the plat in the public records of Highlands County.
Okay. Sounds like just on the paper. You got a
Amen.
second from Mr. Stewart? Is that correct?
Yes.
Okay. Anything else? Audience? Kathy?
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Patton.
Yes. Approval of the bills, Mrs. Haley?
Councilman needs to approve the payment of the bills, please.
So moved.
Second. And a second from Mr. Bishop. Anybody not want us to pay the bill or question anything that's on the bill run? Kathy, call the roll.
Bishop,
Yes.
Carlisle,
Yes.
Mendel,
Yes.
Stewart,
Yes.
Patton.
Yes, and last but certainly not least, Mrs. Haley, on the announcement of a vacancy on one of our boards.
Yes,
Yes, ma'am.
sorry. There is a vacancy with the resignation of Mrs. Shannon Sapp on the CRA board. To be a member of this board, you must reside in the city limits or be engaged in a business within the city limits as a business owner or employed full-time in that business inside the city limits. The application is on the city's website and it would need to be returned to me. It's open until filled, so if you're interested, you need to get on it. That's it.
Everybody good with that?
Yep.
Somebody make a motion.
What?
No
Don't need a
motion.
motion for that.
Don't need it?
Informational.
Information only, sorry, I was thinking, well, all right, thank you very much. Mayor said he would
We got-
like a word.
Forgot one thing, we had Congressman Scott Franklin had requested last week to come to the city of Sebring to announce a proposed bill that he and Marco Rubio and several other congressmen were putting out there for making it easier for municipalities with under 50,000 population to apply for grants. He was going to make that announcement tomorrow at 11 o'clock and kind of had it all set up. We got the Public Works and everything kind of prettied up the front of the building and got everything going. Not that it wasn't pretty before, but had gotten it out, and about 2 o'clock this afternoon, they called and postponed it because of, from what I understand, is that the bill was written under last year's Congress, but now they have a new Congress, so they have to rewrite the bill for the new Congress. So it's kind of a Scribner's or whatever you want to call it. But it has been postponed, and hopefully sometime here in the near future, our congressman will be back down here to announce it. So it's pretty much of an honor for him to pick out of all the cities that he has under 50,000. He's from Polk County, I think down to Glades County, DeSoto County, and I think even over close to Okeechobee County. So yeah, it's the largest by area. So there's a lot of small population cities there, and they requested to come here to make the announcement. So in the future, hopefully we'll be able to get that out to everybody sooner. It was kind of a quick approach this time, but that should be coming back up here within the next month or so. So just keep your eyes and ears open, and it'd be an honor to have him to come to Sebring.
Yep. Don't we have a chili cook-off this weekend?
Yes.
This coming Saturday?
21st, I think.
And a car show in conjunction with the annual chili cook-off? Good place to go get some chili. Mayor and I have been on a couple of the
Judging.
the
Yeah.
judging.
Me
And
too.
for the record, I still like my wife's chili the best. Thank you, honey.
She gotta go home.
One last thing. If you have your iPad or your iPhone or your Galaxy or whatever you carry around to keep your records and stuff in, March 14th, we got a city election coming up. I'd like to see a great turnout this year. March 14th, okay? Early voting starts, I believe, March 6th through the 10th. Am I close on that, Kathy? And that'll be over at the Supervisor Elections Office.
March 6th through the 10th, and you can only vote at the supervisor elections office for that week.
There you go.
Once the election starts, you have to vote at your precinct, or you can request a vote by mail ballot, which they will
Yep.
send to your house.
Yep.
And you have to have that turned in by either before or on the day of the election.
Right. But March 14th is Election Day for the city of Sebring. I hope to see all of you there. Anything else, folks? This meeting